what I'm gonna discuss now is after I showed my video regarding this battery in series. There's a lot of question. This capacitor, and there's a motor here, and the battery here. This is the main circuit actually. That's exactly every time I pulse it. Even I put the switch here, my module is a switch, but this is always the same. Represent a switch inside every time I pulse. But some less idea. But if you look, this is my book, you know. For 7 years, I collect all the data, important data. This is where I base my technology from Tesla, the important technology of Tesla, the basic principle, Evgray, whoever. Now I'll show you the Evgray. Actually, Evgray and me is similar. Looking here, look here. How I can show you? This one is the power supply. This is the bridge. I will show here. This is the positive side, and this is the negative. This is the negative. So I will trace that one going to here. We'll let this. So I will trace. Forget the other parts. It's not important. And there is a tube. Switching tube connected here. That one and going there. That's a coil. This is the coil, including like motor, you know, coil of the motor. And here is the capacitor, and that one. So look, it's going on this way, and after that there is a positive. There is a battery. This is the positive side. Okay, and this negative going directly to here, to negative. It's the same. Look, the same, my circuit. There is no difference at all. I will put it beside. That's the Evgray. Positive, like here. But this one is different. The negative, the one is touching the negative, but it's different. It's a positive to positive, but it's the same. No problem. And this is the switch. This is where the switch. It will conduct after they establish a high voltage, but he is using a high voltage. So that's the first instance coil, and against another coil. Maybe he using two coil to repel onto a truck. But the same, still coil. Like the motor, they have inside, there is a repelling and there is a traction. So the same. And the second one, on his diagram, look, after the capacitor was charged, let's say, if I believe he is sending here a 7,000 volts, 7 kV. 7 kV. So this one will charge 7 kV more or less. So on the first instance, since I pulse it, if the right timing of the angle of the magnet, electromagnet here, he will get minimum of 99% efficiency. If it's on the right angle, just the first pulse. This is the first pulse. And this now is charged. So what will happen? The second event, what will happen since this is charged? Looking on that diagram, I'll show you. This will be like this. I must remove this. So here, what will remain like that? Oh, sorry. This is still the battery, and this is the negative capacitor. Look here, there is a switch, and this is the coil, and that one, there is the contact here and that's here. So look, it will go to this point and come back. So what happened? It will not pass to the battery and then go here. The voltage here is not necessary, because here there's enough volts, something like 7,000 volts below, enough to trigger this coil. So when it's reached the saturation that the air can't withstand, it will short it here. There is a ionization will happen here, or spark. So it will run. So, but not using the original high voltage here, 7,000, but the origin energy created from the first. This is the second now. This is the second pulse, but not using the 7 kilovolts. So the power will be like this, exactly like that. You see? This is the very simple of Evgray. And if you look here, they're the same. There's a capacitor. I cannot tell you exactly the detail of my, but similar. But there is a problem on his design. Look, this one, to get the highest efficiency, let's say 99% to above, you need to angle the right angle of the coil. There is the rotor here, to make sure you can harness the 7,000 volts, because 7,000 volts is really, you can go more than 100% if you have the right angle. That's why I said 99% above. But after that, you can collect the high voltage, because this one will have a back EMF. Now we're talking about the back EMF, enough to charge this, to charge this capacitor, that at 7 kilovolts, and it may be more than, I think it's more than, maybe it will go to 15 kV. So the first is not that's not more powerful, but the second one is the more powerful, because he will be charged from when it's pulse series, but at the same time the back EMF, it will accumulate inside from the ambient. And that's why he has a 2 pulse, but the first pulse is the one he's consuming, has some consumption, but the second is not. But there's a problem, is he must always on the right resonance. So it means